Alright, what's going on YouTube? Hammer56 here, or Hamzy. And guys, today I have another life story for you. I figure it's just been a few videos since I did a life story, so I figured I'd bring you one, because I know that a lot of you guys ask for them. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent one, and some of you may have experience with this. You know, some of you may not have ever even owned a car before. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. This takes place in like 2019, so a good 4 years ago. I had recently, I think it was in 6 months of me getting the car that this happened, I had gotten a Mercury Grand Marquis. Okay, now if you don't know what a Mercury Grand Marquis is, if you've ever seen like the police cars, the Ford Crown Victoria police cars, and then a Lincoln Town Car, the luxury version of that, it's like the Happy Ground, like the middle luxury, so it was a little bit more quote-unquote luxurious than a Ford Crown Victoria, but not quite as badass as the Lincoln Town Car. I mean, it was a 2000 Grand Marquis, and it did feel luxury. It had nice bench seats and shit that were all leather, and it was like, I mean, this thing was the love boat. Makes sense? This thing was big as fuck, and it drove like a boat. It had a 4.6 modular V8 for those of you guys who know motors, and it was just a super nice car. It wasn't the first car that I ever had, but it was the first one that I actually held on to for a while, and that I truly look at as my first car. Because before that, me and my dad pretty much shared a 97 Ford Ranger, and then I also had a 2005 Scion XB. And if you don't know what those are, it's just like those little toaster cars. Badass, right? But so this car was like my shit, man. I had put two 10-inch subs in the back of this thing. I was real proud of it. Badass car, man. Loved this car. I had started making a lot of memories in this car. And side note, thinking back on it, I wish I wouldn't have done this to the car. You know, obviously. But so obviously I'm living life with this car, right? And I'm with this chick at the time. Not my wife that I'm married to now, but I was with a different chick at the time. And one night I'm sitting at home, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm drinking. I was drinking some vodka, and she was like, hey, can I come over and, you know, just have a little bit to drink, watch a movie or something? I was like, hell yeah. So she was just going to come over and chill, and she didn't have a car, so I went to go pick her up. Now, around this time, I had just got done doing some work on the car. For those of you guys who don't know, I love mechanic work, and I do all my own work on my own shit. But I had just got done doing some work on this thing, and during this work, I had to take off the windshield wiper motor. So whenever she called, the windshield wiper motor wasn't hooked up and all that shit. And this day, it also happened to be that it had a fat possibility of raining. So I was like, I need to get over there. I need to come back, and I need to get off the fucking road. She may just have to spend the night, whatever. So I get in the car, and I'm driving. You know, I go, and I pick her up, and I'm not going to lie to you guys, and don't do this. Do not drink and drive, all right? I don't drink and drive at all because of this, but I was a little drunk, and I had been drinking vodka, and I also had an open container on. So I had my pint of vodka, and I go and pick her up, and, you know, we're driving back, and she's taking a few sips and shit. Well, I get close to my neighborhood, okay? About to turn on the street that leads to the street that I live on. And it starts fucking shitting itself. Raining its ass off. And I obviously don't have any fucking windshield wipers, and I'm also a little drunk. And it's pretty damn close to nighttime as well. I can't see for dog shit. Well, I turn on the street, and I'm thinking we're in the clear, and we were not. So as I'm driving down, it happens really fucking fast. I was probably going 35, 40 miles an hour maybe. And all of a sudden, in the fog, about 3-4 feet in front of the car, I just see something there. Like a color, like something was in the road. And obviously, El Smacko. Both of the airbags fucking deployed, and the car was and all the lights in the damn thing was flashing their asses off. And I was like, fuck, dude. What the fuck did we just do? What did I just hit? The car was still running, luckily, thank fucking God. And I look over, and I hug the chick, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? And she's like, yes, I'm fine. Just go out and check on the car and see what the fuck this is about. Well, I get out, and there's fucking nothing in front of the car. That's what's fucking weird. We're right in front of somebody's house, in front of their driveway pretty much, and there's nothing in front of the car. But I'm looking at my car, okay? And the poor thing is fucked, man. I'm not one to cry. I never really cry about things, but I do get attached to my vehicles very, very emotionally and sentimentally. Kind of a thing I have. And I'm not gonna lie. Hamzy shed a tear, man. Hamzy shed a tear over this car. I'm standing there, got my hands on my head. I'm like, oh my fucking God, my car, my car. All my friends and shit loved this car, man. Everybody thought this car was the shit. My girl at the time tries to open the passenger door. Turns out it had moved the quarter panel and wedged behind the passenger side door. So the passenger side door didn't open anymore. And it never did the rest of the time I had the car. So somebody comes out of the house and they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm like, what? And they're like, how did you not see that truck? Well, I turn around and there is a maroon F-150 about, I would say, a good 20 yards, 15, 20 yards in a ditch on the other side of the road. This car sent that bitch flying, yo. It's pretty badass. That car was built like a fucking machine. It was pretty crazy, to be honest with you. And so they're like, hold the fuck up. We're calling the fucking cops. And I'm like, God damn, this is the last thing that I need. This chick's in the car with me, and I got this open container in my car, and this chick has no criminal record. I've gotten in trouble a few times. I'm a little drunk, and they're calling the cops. So while we're sitting there waiting for the cops, at one point, these dudes go inside. We argue for a little bit and shit. I get this bottle of vodka and I throw it in the ditch. I throw it in the little drainage pipe in the ditch. I got to get rid of this motherfucker, right? That's all I'm really concerned about because I got insurance and shit, which they didn't, but we'll get into that. So cops finally pull up, get everybody's information, come to find out, right, that these people didn't have insurance or have the truck registered. And they had it parked in the road. Which luckily, thank God, saved me because at that point, it's like, okay, well, this is really only his situation now. He doesn't have to pay you, that type of thing. But while I'm sitting there, I kind of sympathized and I was just like, oh, yeah, we can work something out, blah, 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 blah. You know, we can figure this out. Well, after a little while, we finally go home, me and the chick, we finally go to my house. And I'm sitting there and I'm telling my dad about all this bullshit and fucking, you know, really sucks, man. And this is a picture of the car after the fact. Really fucking sucks. I'm not gonna lie. After the fact, the car, like whenever I'd press the rear defrost button, it would just lay on the horn and all the lights would start flickering and shit. Passenger side door never really opened again and it didn't have a front bumper anymore. And I drove the car like that until I ended up blowing up the motor when it only had 100,000 miles on it. So, and the people eventually called me trying to get money and I was just like, fuck you. Don't do that, guys. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you get in a wreck and they don't have insurance, don't worry about paying them. But don't tell people that you're going to do that, not do it. Very scummy on my part. But yeah, I just told them to fuck off. And yeah, drove the car like that for the rest of the time I had it. And now I have a truck. But yeah, guys, if there's anything to take away from this story, number one, be careful when you're driving, okay? Take care of the things that you're blessed to have. But number two, do not drink and fucking drive, man. That is a lesson that you do not want to learn the hard way. And the worst thing about it is, a lot of times, it's sad to say, but the lessons a lot of times are learned by innocent bystanders of people. Killing other people while you're drunk as fuck driving is not cool, man. So don't drink and drive at all, you know? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Please give a like, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that. Links are in the description. And I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Peace.
You got a secret, like you victorious. I'm back on a Tuesday and fucking feels glorious. I'm on the backbeat, sipping in the backseat, listening to NSYNC. No, not Backstreet. Yes, I can get it on my mind, my own mind, while I'm waving out the window like bye, bye, bye. Yeah, that bitch. Yeah, she a bad bitch.